Surprise! It's IBO that won. So IBO won that poll on the channel about which series I'm doing next, which I put up the options based on comments people said. And we're going to go through IBO. Alphabetically, that means we're starting with Grays, and it's already lacking, but that's okay. Grays actually comes with two different kits, the Space Commander type and the Ground type. There's no mechanical difference. You just get a different head with a fin on it for the Commander. And it actually has a backpack on the Commander too, which is an extra little booster moved up to the back instead of the legs. The legs lets it boosh and swoosh on the ground better, but the backpack lets it actually fly effectively in space. So having them both on looks stupid. So for the sake of the demonstration, I'm just doing regular Grays, and I'll just do regular old ground type with everything. It does also have two guns, the long barrel and short barrel, but they are functionally identical, I believe. They're the same archetype either way. Yeah, they do the same thing. That's nothing. Okay. Then you have an axe, which is just a normal axe. An axe combo. There's nothing here. If these guys get mini HE on a new type difficulty, they're one of my favorite machine guns. But you need to play new type to actually get that. And I'm not considering new type weapon categories. I'm considering out of the box. It looks pretty fucking good, though. It looks phenomenal. Excuse me. Gosh. I meant to mute that one. That one got away from me. Jeez. Okay. So we'll start with Grays, which is, you know, whatever. It's a good baseline. It'll be right there in the bottom right corner of the chart. I cannot stand that base machine guns don't even attempt to stop you. They can't even juggle you. They're just, yeah. Alright, let's restart this. Oh my god, I can't... Hold on. I'll be right back. I don't have enough room to record video? Okay, I gotta offload a game I'm not playing. Hold on. Hilarious that this is happening. Alright, bear with me. To my amazement, my, oh my god, I'm actually full up on storage for videos. So I'll have to get rid of a couple. Is that a Fortnite video? What are we doing? No, that's Time Stranger. Wow, how did I miss that? All right. Get rid of those, get rid of those, get rid of those. Delete, free up some room. Alright, now we should be good. Okay, now we should be good. Yeah, pretty much. A grunt with nothing? Okay, let's start this now. I should have enough space to record. Grays, both the standard and commander type, have nothing going on. So there are actually two kits you get in the box. The standard type here, which is a ground type, the principal difference being its head has no horn, and its butt thrusters are on its butt. The commander type has a command horn, and its butt thrusters go up to a backpack. Butt thrusters in the butt are help it to glide along on the ground. The butt thrusters in the backpacks help it fly in space. Mechanically, there's no difference in-game for doing either part. You can run both at the same time, it just looks stupid. It also comes with two guns, two machine guns, a short barrel and a long barrel, which by default are just regular old machine guns, which are crap. Basic machine guns don't do any kind of flinch. The damage isn't even that great, and the gauge gain from EX and Awakening doesn't do a whole lot either. In fact, oh, I don't even have an Awakening? Oh, that's embarrassing. That said, the kit doesn't come with a whole lot either. Regular old battle axe, which just does axe things. And an axe option, which just simulates the axe combo. But just, like, worse? Yeah, actively worse. Man, these machine guns don't even let you juggle people when you hit them up in the air. No stun whatsoever. Yeah, so the Grace has nothing going on with it. I cannot see this succeeding as a straight build, even if it looks phenomenal. Okay, who's next alphabetically? Astaroth? Astaroth. Astaroth might get by. Hold on. Astaroth might do something. We have no EXs, which I swear it had one, but I guess not. Subknuckle knife, demo knife. Maybe not. We have the anti-material rifle, and we have the shield, which is a hilarious double hand. But you need that shield to use the knuckle, because the regular hand doesn't come with it. And that's sad. Alright, let's check some properties real quick. Pretty sure that greatsword just works like a greatsword combo. You get super armor, yada yada. Yep, just a greatsword combo. But don't you also just have demo knife equipped? Yeah, you have demo knife just equipped. I ain't doing shit either. It's worse than what you got. Then combat knife if you want a saber combo, I guess. Astaroth ain't doing shit either. At least it's a... let me double check that gun. That seems too good. Nope, by default, it's small explosion, high power. Okay, that's pretty decent then. Put some dudes out. Put some parts on. Gundam Astaroth is okay. Side story jank generally doesn't get all the good-ins that main story stuff does, and this is no exception. You have some tools, but not a lot. Probably the coolest thing you got is the anti-material rifle that it comes with, which is an explosive high-power type that can just juggle the shit out of people. Really useful. No ammo, though. You also come with the Demolition Knife Greatsword, which is an early Greatsword, which isn't terrible. does greatsword things. Big greatsword combos, and you have super armor when performing those combos, letting you get through attacks you normally shouldn't. But besides that, on the legs, you have a combat knife, which serves as a beam saber combo. You just have an option for him. It's alright. I mean, if you really want to extend with the beam saber, it's there. And then the backpack demolition knife is just an option version of your handheld demolition knife. Not much going on there either. It's actually worse power at the moment than regular melee, which is regrettable. The last thing you got is from the shield. Yes, the shield. You see that second hand on my hand? For some reason, the sub-knuckles uses the shield, but the sub-knuckle option skill is only selectable on the shield and not the arm that actually has the sub-knuckle. So you have to equip the sub-knuckle to use the sub-knuckle. Right. Anyway, it's a grab. Not a whole lot going on there. Nothing terribly special. You travel, you grab, you push. You can chain it into other things if you want to be all fancy, wacky, wahoo. But with a 30-second cooldown on it, like, not a lot you can consistently pull off. Also looks ugly that you have to do that for both. Astaroth is pretty mid, regrettably, and I feel like a lot of these Gundams are going to fall under that. Okay, hey, welcome everyone who just showed up. Let's see what's next. The poll on the channel said that I should be doing IBO next. Not those advanced of Zeta Freaks, not SDs, so we're going to do IBO. Thankfully for me, IBO is actually pretty short, so we're going to go through it. Let me just send this Graze clip off real quick, so I can delete all these after. And then let me send the Astaroth clip off. Astaroth is cool. It's a shame it gets kind of dick down here. Astaroth. Unlisted. Okay. So what is our... Oh, I forgot Astaroth has a rifle too. Dang. But that is the worst kind of gun in the game, and I will talk about it when we get to Gushin. Zagok? Zagok's awesome. Zagok's cool as hell. Zagok, Gog, that guy, the whole trio. I don't know nobody that don't love them. They're uniquely shaped, sometimes like a friend. They're uniquely engineered that they have beam weapons, albeit they need that water cooling to pull it off in a portable form. And iron nails are just cool weapons. All the amphibious MS are, like, sick. I did forget Astaroth's machine gun, but frankly, I don't think it's worth talking about. And we'll talk about this when we get to Gushin. After Astaroth is Ma. It's Gundam Ma. I get 2 swords, right? Yeah, 2 Ma swords. This might not be terrible. You get 2 swords, you get an EX skill, you get a decent utility range. Ma might be okay. Now, does the railgun stun? Does the railgun stun? That's going to be the question. Let's also put on gauge so we know how long it takes. Railgun does stun. Okay, we have some utility. Granted, that cooldown's kind of a bitch. You get both Ma swords. You get the dual sword combo. You get the Bale sword, which is just a beam saber combo. But at least it's something you can dump EH gauge into, so that's nice. You have no ranged weapons, so that stuns never get any better. You're going to have to constantly beat people down. The Bale swords feel kind of small, but I know they're not. They just, like, look short. Okay. Yeah, Ma is going to be sitting directly in the middle of the pack. I will not call it by name. Every single time I say "muh," I'm just gonna put McGillis' stupid fucking open mouth face on screen. We're going that route. Let me reset this and we'll do a quick recording of it. Muh. I don't got best mans. I don't got favorites. If we're talking performance, I could pull a bunch out that are just like freakish. Pound Dock is the most beautiful. That is factual. Okay, should I not name it and just keep saying muh? Or should I say Bale, but then re-record muh and put McGillis' stupid fucking face up every time I say it? Yeah, I'll do that route instead. Alright. Gundam Bale is driven. It knows what it wants. You get 2 Bale swords. That's it. That's all you get. No range weapon. So you have 2 decent swords with 2 sets of passives doing the dual sword combos. You also, in its wings, get an electromagnetic cannon, which is a very quick railgun shot that stuns the enemy for a couple seconds. That can be useful to close in and deal with things. But as you see, the cooldown's a little much to spam. And without a gun, you're not going to really make it do any decent damage. It's going to entirely be for that stun and to approach onto people. One saving grace of Bale is that you have these Bale Sword EX skill, which is just a Beam Saber combo renamed as Bale Sword, which is a good way to dump your gauge that you're getting from beating dudes up into quick, consistent damage. And then you just try to get that gauge back with combos. Hit him away, stun him, chase him down again. Dump the gauge. It's not riveting gameplay. It'll be okay, but your lack of options is really going to let you down with Bale. Alright. Who's next? Need to grab a charging cable. My headset's dying. Hold on. Alright. We are charging the headset. Everything's right with the world again. After Bale is B4. Hey, B4. Ironically, one of the best of the Barbatos. Is that really a high-grade gun? I hate how he holds that every single time. Longsword default, huh? Huh. They don't give you the mace default? That's interesting. I'll tell you what, we'll put the mace in one hand and the longsword in the other. Wait, is the longsword a greatsword? No, it's a saber. Where the fuck did my mace go? Oh, the mace is a greatsword. Ah, stars above. Well, auto build says you get the katana, but the mace is a mace with a mace moveset. And the katana is just a bored-ass katana. Oh my god, you don't have any skills no matter what. Well, that's not great. Woo, this one's gonna be quick. I remember none of the Barbatos are good in any way. I mean, at least the smoothbore messes people up. But you hold it like a dingus. It's a long sword, it's a great sword, with the split moveset of a Lance. Isn't that exciting? And it makes a weird sound. Whoa! Whoa! Alright. B4 is going to get sent through the ringer, because unfortunately B4 is just not good. Lupus is after 4. Where is 6? Lupus Rex. Wait, is... Right, 6 is the same head, so I gotta head over to body to auto-build 6. That's right. Well, the old cheese was extra large mace on Lupus Rex, so that's a whole different weapon altogether. So let's just shit on 4th form real quick. Gundam Barbados 4th form is grim. Do you see these pellets? Do you see these action bars? I ain't got shit. The only things you come equipped with is your trusty smoothbore, which is at least a long rifle, and your choice of a katana, which is just a boring katana, or the mace, which is, uniquely enough at least, a great sword with lance properties. It has its own little fun moveset. You got poppy-ups, you got smashes, you got pierces. You have this little fun number where you just do a bunch of tappy taps. I think it's 1, 2, breakdown. It's at least a cool weapon, but that's the only thing this kit has. I know for a while people are upset there's no Alea Vignana on like any of these Barbatos except the last one. Yeah, what do you want? At least you get some cool aesthetics, I guess. Alright, let's send that to the old glue factory. YouTube, unlisted. We're going to call this B4, because it is in fact B4. After B4 comes B6. B6 is hopefully going to fare a little bit better. At least you have the wrench mace, which is neat. I like the wrench mace. You look cooler too, I'll be honest. I'm going to use a level 1 wrench mace. Yay. Still no EXs, which is unfortunate. Wrench mace and the autocannon arms, which without a gun ain't gonna do much for a while. Pretty much you're running purely on that wrench mace. So the wrench mace itself has some cool grabby combos. And then you can do the regular combos with the option, or you can hold the option to instantly get the grab without having to route into it, which can be useful. And then the machine guns ain't bad, honestly. Just their build gauge. In fact, how do they do on gauge? Let's hit Burst Breaker real quick. Oh, I gotta actually make gauge happen. Fucker. My concern is you ain't gonna do shit with that mace grab against big targets. Ah, that's not terrible. It's not like mind-blowing gauge gain, but you get something. You can probably just chain the grab into the machine guns constantly. Why the fuck am I so fast? I shouldn't have... Oh, it's a level 30 head for some reason. Yeah, that would do it. I don't care about the other shit, but... Pretty sure Wrench Mace has no unique properties outside its moveset. Nor does the actual option outside its moveset. A lot of grabs, unfortunately, though, aren't going to, like, connect properly. Because Wrench Mace relies on you getting that grab, then that twirl, then that slam. You're not going to get all that on a big enemy. In fact, let's go confirm that real quick. We like science. But I'm fairly certain it's going to suffer because it's not getting the full effect. I'm pretty sure there's an early quest that is nothing but bosses. Yeah, right there. Did I not beat this on friggin' normal? Yeah, sure. I have, casual, standard, normal. Hardcore. Am I hardcoreable? Yeah, we'll be fine. I was break or die on hardcore with level 1 parts. I don't have level 1 parts on right now. We're fine. Science, my dude. I wish I wasn't such a lazy fuck, and I wish I had a decent computer that I could actually afford to bring out here. Because every time I see you, I'm like, I should go back to MS Saga. I should experiment with shit. I should test shit. Okay, that didn't work. Did I not use the optional airborne? Yeah, you miss out in the second half of it because it won't connect. And that one didn't even connect at all. It just left me vulnerable. Yeah, you don't get the slam or the stomp. Well, that's no good. Save me, Tao. Full animation will still play. Meaning you really don't have a lot of anything against bosses except for Burst Breaker. Looks like a Costanza. Barbatos' 6th form salvages the reputation of Barbatos a bit, like its salvage parts. You get a really cool big bonk stick in the Wrench Mace, which is a great sword that can do great sword things, but also has this cool, like, grab, where the mouth opens in dinosaur jaws, and you just slam a dude down and kick him. And you can route into that from different things. It's pretty cool. You also get these autocannons on the arm, which acts as machine guns, which is actually a pretty decent gauge gainer, though the only thing you have dump gauge on, not having EXs, is going to be trying to get your Burst Breaker back. That said, it's doing a decent job, but not a great job of that. The option in your backpack is another wrench mace. Tapping it gets you the combo that you normally have in your regular melee. The big advantage of it, though, is that you can hold it down to instantly get that grab without having to route into it from your combos. Now, being a really cool multi-part special animation grab, that means you get absolutely screwed on big bosses because it won't complete the full animation properly and you won't get all your damage. You'll run forward with the teeth out. You'll grind against it for a sec, but then you'll turn around and stomp air and leave yourself completely vulnerable in front of a boss. It's not great. Pretty much have to rely entirely on Burst Breaker. And at that point, are you much better than a Graze? B6 is better, but not there. Okay, then we go over to the video and we'll go bond, then we go share the video, and then we go down to here and we hit YouTube. We go to the playlist and we go to unlisted and you rename it and call it B6. And then you upload B6 to the channel, and then we download B6 to my phone later to put B6 inside my video editing app that I use for all my shit. Alright, past B6, we have B-Loop. I'm going to say something brave, but correct. Lupus is cooler and better than Rex. I will not take questions unless it's, man, how do you know you're so right? In which case the answer is, because I know I'm right. Also, we're putting on the 200 mil because we need to. It needs these to be functional. The fact that you have arms without them is insane. Also, let's get in the twin maces. Let's go! They're saber type, unfortunately. They don't have anything special, but they look cool as fuck. No EXs, unfortunately. The arm cannons, I think, are... God, I really hope they're not barrage type. They are barrage type. Damn. Well, at least they juggle. They're a barrage type that juggles. That is uncommon. Do they home properly? Can I get a pop-up, please? Do you bitches? There we go. Yeah, they got a little bit of homing on them, don't they? They got a good bit of homing on them, actually. It's gonna be like, where is he? I don't know, man. The way I see it, Lupus is what Barbatos is meant to be. Lupus is Barbatos' final form. It was rebuilt with explicitly Mika in mind. Mika's preferences, Mika's fighting style, Mika's specifications. And based on the original specs of Barbatos too. Rex? Rex is cool. But Rex is a salvage job using bird parts because everything else was wrecked. I don't think Rex is stronger or better than Lupus. I just think it was a necessity because Lupus just got so horribly maimed. But Lupus is the more realized final form of Barbatos. And I would like more people to put them on the same tier. It doesn't go Barbatos, Lupus, Rex. It's Barbatos with a little split Y that goes into Lupus and Rex. Like, it's a side grade. This is a fucking side grade of Rex, and I won't hear otherwise. Also, super fucking sad. You want to see something tragic? Man was not made with tail. Even if you put AV on... Let me find my AV. Do I not have an AV unlocked? Really? Hold that thought. Torso? Rex Torso? Rex Torso. Okay. Evolve. Unlock AV. Oleas Vinianas. Where are my hypertrances? There we go. Okay. Even if you turn on AB from another source, like Rex, there are no special effects. Nothing opens, the eyes don't glow, no flames, no panels, no nothing. Fucking scam. Lupus also has a greatsword, but it's not as cool as the maces. So, like, you know... Well, it's a sword mace. Hold on. My brain tells me it's its own archetype, but I can't tell you right now what that archetype is. Greatsword combo. Well, that's different. Hold on. You do a backward spin. Ooh. It has a regular greatsword spin. Oh wait, do regular greatswords have that hold? Because the hammer types have that hold. I'm doubting myself. I might showcase it with Sword Mace, but first I need to head over to Demolition Knife and confirm if Demolition Knife has that slam charge. It does. Okay, it does. Okay. So that is just a regular greatsword thing. Actually, let's go back in real sec. I'm pretty sure that backward spin and a couple of those slams are the only unique thing. Yeah, because that's the basic combo for a greatsword. You pop up. And then the basic heavy attack is a leap in. 2 heavy is the double spin. 3 heavy is the spin. 4 heavy is the jumping slash. 1 heavy is the jumping slash. So there is no 4 heavy, it's just 1 heavy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5's just a launcher pop-up at the end of it. Alright. Let's go back to Sword Mace real quick. Pretty sure your basic string does not have the pop-up, and instead you do a backwards spin. One, 2, 3, 4. Yep, you do that shit. And then 1 heavy is the leap. 2 heavy is still the double spin. 3 heavy should still be the 360. And 4 heavy should be the leap. Yes. You still have a pop-up, just like Greatsword normally would. You have that. That Greatsword normally would. So pretty much the only thing you have different is that combo, as well as the basic combo being not a pop-up. Why does that feel worse? Also, how do I trigger that ground slam? No. 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 The thing that I just did, that actually had like the graphic of the ground getting slammed. How did I just do that? It is a big slab of metal. How did I just do that fucking move? It's not the backflip slam from the air. Maybe it was, and I just wasn't high enough to do the backflip. If I did like that, and then that, yeah, okay. It just wasn't high enough to do the backflip. So the only unique thing of Sword Mace really is that your combo doesn't end in a pop-up. You just hit them harder. Just so I can do my due diligence. It doesn't appear to do anything special on that end. Okay. What are you thinking, Mace or Greatsword? They're going to be pretty much functionally the same. I guess the Greatsword has one more interesting thing to say about it that's not just it's a saber. Also, let me take off AV so no one's confused. Okay. Gundam Barbatos Lupus continues the Barbatos curse. Boy, is it cursed. So, you do have some options, but none of which do anything particular. You actually have two sets of arms. You see one set I'm wearing now that has these autocannons equipped on it, and one set that does not. What changes? You don't get the skill. So why wouldn't you put them on? You also have two different melee weapons. A pair of sword maces, which are just regular saber combos. They just look like maces. Cool, fun. Nothing changes. And this big old sword mace, which is a great sword. The only difference that I can really discover in sword mace archetype outside of a greatsword is that your basic combo does not end in a pop-up, instead a double back hit. Otherwise, all your routes on all your attacks from heavy to light are the same. Even the good old 1, 2, 3, 4 leap, 1, 2, 3 spin, 1, 2 double double. It's all the same as greatsword. You even have the regular greatsword charge up. Semi-unique thing, I suppose, is those arm cannons. They are a barrage type, but they're a barrage type that has an explosive attack. You can fire it once, or hold it down to get more shots out of it. It has pretty good homing. It honestly has some pretty good power as far as breaking parts go. But since this kit doesn't come with a gun, it's never going to get any stronger. So it's really just going to be made for a juggle utility. The cooldown's not really perfect on it either, so you can't really chain both together. But at least you have two that you can alternate as you need to. I think Lupus is cooler than Rex, and I think it's a more realized final form, and that Rex is just a lazy slapdash because they had a broken Barbatos and some bird parts. They're both cool, but I think Lupus is just generally the more complete final form of Barbatos, and it is a shame that it just gets no play here. Not even a single special awakening action or a hyper trance. I'm sorry, Lupus. You're still my favorite. Then we go over here, and we go to this, and we go to the name, and the name is Lupus. Ow. Lupus. And then we go to Unlisted and post it, and who's next on the block? Probably Rex. It is Rex. Rex is next, and I can finally get away from the Barbatos curse. Look at those beefy meat arms. They're great. We're going to do a basic extra large mace. I will talk about how stupid it is, but at least it's not broken anymore. We actually have an awakening. Good for us. Not an awakening thing. And we have an option in Tailblade. I'm going to hate to say, I still don't think this is very good. Because even if they fix the damage on this, it still generates dummy amounts of bar. But the only thing we have to dump bar into is Alea Vignana, which is just like a basic goddamn Hypertrance. Or Burst Breaker. But it's not even giving you that much back. It's giving you a bit. And it will speed up your Burst Breaker. But, like, not a lot. Really, you're going to be taking damage to get that back. Why did it feel like Alea Vignana didn't last anywhere near as long as it should have? No, I guess it's just a regular 30-second. Dang. That's really just going to be the bread and butter. I mean, that was not nothing. I got my gauge back to turn on AV. Breakdown. You got a stinger. You got a million stabs. You got a high times. You just need an enemy step. Give me a round trip. You have a snatch. It comes back pretty fast. Was that the move I wasn't doing? Okay, so it's 4 on the ground and 2 in the air. No, it's a Devil Bringer. Get it? Okay. Lupus Rex might not be bad. Because you can do stupid fuck-off damage to bosses with that string, as long as they stay put. And you have melee boosts, and you have a utility. I'm probably going to put this over the line on the middle, but not, like, all the way left. But I think it's actually serviceable. Gundam, Barbatos, Lupus, Rex is serviceable. Maybe not for the reasons you think, but... So like the other Barbatos, you get jack shit for options, but it actually comes with an EX skill. EX being Alea Vignana, which is just a regular Hypertrance. Nothing too crazy there. You have more attack, you have faster movement, you have faster attack speed. It'll do its job because you're going to be going in constantly for melee. The unique thing it brings to the table is the extra large mace. Now, it's like that big mace we had back on B4, but it's bigger. This used to be the best weapon in the game because of a coding oversight. So this is a Greatsword and Lance combo weapon. You have Greatsword combos with the ability to have super armor on hit. You have the ability to use Lance skills like the pushing, the dash, the stinger. And you can also route into certain Lance combos. For example, foreground, heavy, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get like a million stab. That can also be achieved with 1, 2 in the air. Well, I said 1, 2 in the air, and then holding it. Now, if you don't hold it, but mash it, you can get even more out of that. Specifically, seconds more. The only limitation is how much you can mash and whether or not the guy actually stays in the attack. Why I think this kit might actually work is because of this move alone. Not only is it decently powered, not only is it effective and fast, but it builds gauge like a mofo. You see I just spent 3 on my Leia Vinyana. I just got another gauge back by doing almost nothing. Now I'm almost back up to 8 again. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's harder to do when it's fast. The air route is honestly easier, but you're running risk of knocking them out. But I'm already back at 9. Like, I have infinite uptime in the AV. Now, one more tool you have to assist you into getting in close and actually dealing with people is the one option you're given, which is a tail blade, which is a wire snatch. Pulls people into you. You have to be careful building this up, though, because wires fall under a very interesting quirk of reaction speed, where the higher reaction speed you have, the shorter distance a wire will pull someone. I think I could demonstrate that, actually. Let's go back to default, because I can raise my reaction speed with my awakening. I'm going to go all the way back to the stage. My wire at default will pull that Zaku all the way to me. If I raise my reaction speed, it pulls it a couple spaces farther. Because my reaction speed is also shortening the speed of my animations. All animations. That includes my attacks. But it also means that wire is reeling in for less time, because the animation finishes quicker. So I will actually pull people shorter distances. Let's wait the second to wear off. I actually get them all the way to me without it being on. It's weird. Reaction speed interacts weird inversely with a bunch of different skills. It actually kills your Jirobies. So it's a decent kit. It has a lot of neat things. You can absolutely spam the shit out of this and have infinite uptime on your Hyper Trance. I don't think it's the greatest thing IBO has, but I think it's good enough to get through the game with. I talked way too long on that one. Whatever, we're not doing it again. It'll be 5 minutes longer another. Whatever. BLR Unlisted. Gushin is good. Yes, Gushin has a lot of cool things going on with it. I'm excited to talk about Gushin. Alright, let's see what we got. Gushin! My Gushi boy. My Gushi boy. I get to talk about one of my favorite mechanics in the game with him. Right there, Gushin Hammer. That's the cool shit. You read that? That's cool. So, quick rundown on Gushin. Its machine gun is the worst in the game. It is diffusion type, which just means its spray is like all over the fucking place. It still has the same shitty qualities of machine guns where it doesn't flinch, and the damage is pretty jack shit. But it has a grenade, it has Buster Anchor, which is just a big fucking explosion. 4 of them, actually. And it has Gushin Hammer, which, as you read before, has this unique property that says if the enemy's suit were to lose parts in the final hit, it loses all its parts. What that means is that. Let me actually turn my gauge back on. I don't know why I did that. If that final blow of the heavy version of holding it connects, and they were to lose parts, I have parts on, right? Do I have parts on right now? Hold on, did I just turn it off? I just turned it off, 100%. If they were to lose parts from that hit, they lose all their parts and just become a torso. The trick is, though, it still has to hit the part loss. Why are they not? There, yeah, okay, so they can't lose parts. And it has to be that final blow. So if you do it like the corner, you actually have a risk of losing the hit, because it doesn't hit proper. Damn, I'm having bad luck. Maybe I should consider using a stronger hammer than level 1. There it is. See that? Open them up for ground break right there. They still need to lose their part, so you need to, like, soften them up. Now, the other cool thing, it doesn't state it, but your regular melee hammer does the same thing. But you have to charge level 3. The level 3 has to connect. I've done it before, but it took forever because it's all RNG. But the basic hammer does it too. The option hammer just has a better chance because it's just stronger, and options in general are easier to break parts with. I want my hit bonus up. Then I will let him reassemble. You can miss like that, and unfortunately, the only thing that has that slam that activates it is the level 3. I'm going to show you it works. I swear to God it works. Unless you're exactly neutral with them too, it's hard to carry out the whole combo. We're gonna sit here till it works. I've done it. I've seen it. I've even done it with just the final hit. I've got enough spacing that the other ones don't strike, but the final hit still hits, just to confirm that's all you need. Like that. I've done it in practice, I swear to God. And we will sit here till it works. It's just so much more likely to do it on the option version. We will. Thank you for participating. I had footage of it too. Like, I thought at one point of doing a series where I talk about every kit and be like, this is one cool thing about this kit. It turned into this, actually. Oh, thanks, Grimling. It turned into this series, because I can check straight builds while saying this is a cool thing about the kit. And I had footage of the fucking basic Hammer Strike doing it. There! Pick one nut. Xbox, record that. Last 30 seconds so I can just splice it into the fucking video. It's a lot easier to do with the option. Like, it's actually consistent with the option. It's just the goddamn normal attack, for some reason, does it like 100 times less. Alright, that's enough Gushin. I'm gonna roll out all the non-20s, so when we actually record, I'll get the 20. You think it might help if I turn off Invulnerable? Well, guess what? I'm gonna do every single series. You're gonna get videos on all the straight builds. You can even vote for which one you like next, or you can even let's see here. Let's see what the current super chat is. Force me to do a series. Well, look at that. Alright, let's get Gushin out of the way. I like Gushin. Gushin's cool. Alright. Oh, I didn't even... You also have Head Vulcans and a Flare. The Flare's pretty okay. It shoots out 2 stuns. Whoa. And there's actually AoE on the stun, too. Hold on, let me get some more dudes in here. Like, that dude's got AoE. It's pretty cool. Not a crazy big one, but one nonetheless. It also seeks. Got a little bit of a Holman. I think I can... No, let's... Yeah, it has a good homing on it. And Vulcans are just Vulcans. 00 will be a big video, as will 0079. I am fearing 0079. I did go through it. I did look at everything. But it's still going to be a big fucking video. A lot of it's going to be trash, though. Every single Zaku is going to be under the same label. Char, regular, even Mind Layer, Johnny Ridden, Shin Matsunaga, they're cosmetic changes. Like, it's interesting that auto build gives them specific weapons. I think that's cool. Auto build Johnny Ridden Zaku gives them the giant bazooka from the Dom, while auto build on Shin Matsunaga gives them the Zaku bazooka. Char gets the machine gun. I think that's neat. But otherwise, they're just cosmetic changes, mostly on the legs. Like, Garma will get his own, thing, because he has Dead NG, he has a Magella Cannon, he has Vulcans. It's interesting enough to make its own little section. But all the other Zakus in 0079 are getting put in the same category, just all at once. Let's get some boys in. Let's get some part lost on. Gundam Gushin, my big froggy boy. It's one of my favorite straight build kits in the game. Starting off, two things you have for weapons. A big hammer. It's a great sword with hammer attributes. So not quite a great sword combo. A lot of interesting, unique things, but you still have the charge-ups that such a great sword is known for. You also have its machine gun, which is a diffusion-type machine gun, which is a fancy way of saying the worst. What does diffusion mean? It means the shots diffuse and you don't hit shit. It also carries the same properties as other machine guns, that you don't stun or flinch. Except now you just don't hit them. It is dog shit. It has one small use on the straight build, and that's to facilitate some of the options. Starting off with the straightforward ones. Grenade in the legs. It's a grenade. You throw it, it bounces, it blows up. Usually part outs, does good damage, knocks people away. It's a great skill. I love hand grenades in this game. Hand grenades of all kind do work. Second one is Buster Anchor, which is 4 battleship grade cannons in your torso firing at once. Big damage, big boom. The splash is just barely not enough to catch anyone from default position, but if you move them a little bit, it's still pretty big. It's also got deceptive range, because it's not like the Buster Anchor you remember from 3 or mobile. You can go cross-map with this thing. Pretty fast, too. I think it'll be great for bosses, because you're hitting multiple zones, especially since you have an actual gun to raise the damage of it. You also come with Head Vulcans, which are Head Vulcans. You know I like them. You can use them while you're doing literally anything else for bonus break and damage. And then you have Flares. It is a 2-shot stun with really good homing. The stun itself also has a pretty decent amount of AoE. If I push Jerry here a little closer, you can catch multiple people. You can even catch them from weird angles, because it will track. Now, the final option is what makes Gushin really unique. Gushin Hammer. It is using the hammer on your back as you would the hammer in your hands. You do hammer combos. You can hold it to do an instant level 3 greatsword combo. And it has a unique property to Gushin Hammer, that if that hammer combo, if this spin, the last hit of it were to connect with the enemy and break off a part, instead, it'll break off every single part on the enemy. Now, that is still dependent on a part breaking from that hit, but if you get a high enough damage, high enough level weapon, high enough hammer, the chances of that go up and up, till eventually, one solid blow, I said one solid blow, should pop them into a million pieces. Unfortunately, you're still dependent on the RNG of actually breaking the part. So doing it raw like this, with no break combo bonus, with no hit bonus, it's not great. But when it happens, it looks really, really, really cool, because they explode into a shower of confetti of parts. And then you can instantly just do a ground break on them for big damage. It's clearly not to be relied on, because in even 20 attempts of just trying to do it live right here, it's not triggering. But when it does go off, it's really nice. It was supposed to do it right there because I made the dramatic pause. I'm going to put on screen it working so you can see it work, because apparently I'm just a filthy dumb liar. Now, something to note. Your hammer, your default melee weapon, that has the same property as this skill. So you will have times when you connect the full level 3 charge that it will also pop every single part off of an enemy kit. But you not only have to charge all the way up to level 3, you also have to connect the damn last hit too, making the option more reliable as it just comes out instantly. If it would have come off at any time in this demonstration, it would have been really cool and you all would have been, oh wow, oh that's useful, oh awesome. So instead, I'm just going to grab footage of it doing it later and splice it in so it looks like I'm a big, brave, cool guy. You'll probably cut out most of this from the video, actually. That's going to be funny. Yeah, I'm just going to cut out most of this video. So watch this. I'm going to wait for it to go off. And then I'm going to say, like... Oh my god, really? Fuck it, we're making a new recording. We have hit Gumplopedia length. Where are we starting? Grimling, do you want to know where you find the mechanics of this game documented? It's me. I am the mechanics of this game documented. How insane is that? How am I the only person speaking English that has any of this, like, noted or written down or viewed? I have not even found a wiki for this game that explains mechanics either. I'm the only source. And I'm a shit source at that. Alright, let's do this again. Gundam Gushin, my froggy boy. This might be my favorite straight build from IBO, just for all the cool shit it does. Starting off with what you actually get in the package. A big ol' hammer, which is like a great sword, except it has hammer strings, so you beat them over the head more. But you still have the super armor and vulnerability that a great sword brings. You still get the great sword level 3 charge up as well. You also get a diffusion machine gun. What makes a diffusion machine gun diffusion? The fact that the shots diffuse out as you fire. Meaning you don't hit shit and it's actually the worst kind of machine gun in the game. Look at this comedy. What are we doing? Now, it does have some utility just to rack up hit count, since the magazine is pretty big, even at default. But that's about it. You also have some pretty fun options. Head Vulcans for Head Vulcans. You know them, you love them. You can use them while doing any other action. And Stun Flares. Shoots out 2 slow-moving flares that do a little bit of an AoE stun. And it's actually a pretty decent AoE. If I move Jerry a little bit closer here, you can catch more than one dude pretty well. They also have some crazy tracking and will actively seek out enemies. You also have a grenade! It's just a thrown grenade from the legs. Basic grenade. It bounces, it does big boom, it breaks parts. I love grenades in this game. They're super effective, and this is no different. And then the torso, you have the Buster Anchor, which is actually 4 battleship-grade cannons strapped to its chest to make another big boom. It's actually a deceptively far-reaching boom, too, since unlike the one you might remember from Breaker 3 or Breaker Mobile, it's not point-blank only. You can cross-map with this thing. Finally, the Gushin Hammer option, which is the most unique part of this kit. It allows you to use your hammer combo, like any weapon option generally does. But by holding it, you shortcut to the level 3 charge attack. That one. The hammer has a unique property as well, something that Gushin Hammer has solely to itself. If the last hit of this spin combo were to connect and break off a part from the enemy, it breaks off every part from the enemy. As in, they are left a torso, right for a downswing, right for a part smash. Now, it is still, of course, dependent on the chance of actually breaking off a part, and you have to connect with that final hit. If you miss, you ain't doing nothing. If you swing by him, you ain't doing nothing. None of the previous hits are working. My recommendation to make that work is to soften them up with the machine gun to raise their break gauge, the invisible break gauge, and then get them with the hammer. You see how after a couple hits, you just take an arm or a leg or a head off? You're filling up an invisible meter for that. And this machine gun's actually half decent for it. So if I were to hit it for a couple seconds, then get him with the hammer swing, the chances of actually getting that to go off are much higher. It's still not perfect, it's still RNG, and we still gotta kind of finesse our way, because you run the risk of those swings coming in also taking it off. It's not something to be relied on. Don't get that wrong. Like, it's not a great ability that you should be focusing on around the entire kit, but when it works, it's really cool, because they just explode into a shower of parts. Since I can't seem to get it going here, I'll just, splice in footage of it actually working, so you can look at it and go, oh, wow, cool, whoa, they explode, whoa! Tubular! I don't know which one of you said that, but another neat thing, the basic hammer that you have in your hand as well has the same property, but only at the level 3 charge attack, and only if the last hit of it connects. That's why using the option is a lot better, because it comes out instantly and is generally stronger for being an option. You have a higher chance of that last hit actually proccing. And since I'm just not going to get it in this demonstration, I'll just leave something on screen that shows it going off. Either way, I think Gushin got some good tools. The explosions and the stun alone will get you a far way. Having a ranged weapon and a melee weapon to scale up your damage is going to be the other piece of the puzzle. There, instead of 5 minutes, it's 7 minutes. So is there a magic number I can hit if I do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20, then... Because, like, if I take the arm off with the machine gun, I don't think I have any chance of getting the break. And if I take an arm off with the incoming spin, I don't think I'm getting the break either. Hold on, so let's try, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah, I guess I just got really lucky on that last one. Whatever, we'll move on. Oh, no, no. I just put on mute to cough and forgot to take it off because I'm a dumb shit. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dummy. You'll hear what I'm saying when I do the video real quick. Did you hear anything about me saying Gushin Rebake's in my top 3? Well, Gushin Rebake's in my top 3. I can't tell you which one it is, but it's in my top 3. I like it better than Full City. I like it a hell of a lot better than Full City. Something about the colors, the shape, the vibe of it being Gushin rebuilt with what they had on hand is just better than Full City to me. Gundam Gushin Rebake is one of my favorite mobile suits of all time. I can't tell you exactly where it is, but it is in top 3. No doubt it's in top 3. It's just so goddamn cool. So this is actually an interesting kit. I'm not going to say it's terribly effective. You get a melee weapon, you get a ranged weapon. The ranged weapon itself's not terrible. A nice long rifle that flinches. Your melee weapon's fairly unique, though. It's an axe, but it's a halberd. So it has the basic axe combos. You have your basic axe charge. But if you hold forward and use heavy attack, you throw that bitch. And you throw that bitch for a lot of damage. Consider what just one basic attack is doing. 75, 78. Otherwise, it's just a basic axe. But it costs nothing to throw it. You could spend your whole day just long-range tossing. Staying out of the way, throwing axes at people. It's sick. Your option skills on your butt and on your shield are also the same, more or less. It's an axe combo, or you can hold the button to throw the halberd. This thrown version, unlike the melee weapon that knocks down, stuns. Stuns for a second or two. Good approach tool. It also does something fairly unique that's also shit. Look at my basic heavy attack. 75, 78 damage. I'm going to hit him with a halberd. I'm now doing 85, 44 damage. It not only stuns, but it also applies a defense debuff to increase your damage. Now, why this is actually bad is because that defense debuff is tied to the stun and only lasts as long as the stun does. If they are unstunned after that 1 second, you do not get the bonus. And I can't find any option skill, anything other than just a basic melee attack, that can fit within that window for the bonus 10%. Now, it's only 10%, you're not going to miss it, but it's still a part of the skill that I feel like is not working properly. It's not programmed properly, or just wasn't designed well, that you're missing out on that special interaction. You also have subarm off the backpack, which is a grab. What's cool about the grab is just the visuals. Your subarms pop out of your backpack, grab the dude, and you beat them senseless. You can't mash it for extra like you can some skills. It's just a grab. It's cool, though. I think Gushin Rebake could do some good work as a straight build just for this. If you focus solely on just throwing your shit left and right, you could actually probably have a pretty effective build. And you can do some decent damage to bosses that way too, while staying out of their business. And if something gets too close, grab them, give them the business. I don't think it's remarkable, but I think it's cool. I think it's really, really, really cool. Okay, Gushin Rebake, Gushin Rebake, Gushin Rebake. Unlisted. Gushin Rebake. My this is the interesting factoid about Gushin Rebake was going to be the axe stun and the debuff. Oh, also this has 2 heads, but it doesn't change anything. You have aiming mode and regular mode, which is just the sensor down or the sensors up. What is absolute dog shit is that in Breaker 3 and New Breaker, if you activated Awakening, these would open or close. If you had aiming head on default, you use Awakening, it opens up in a regular head. If you had regular head, use Awakening, it opens up the default head. Or aiming head, rather. It does not do that in this. These are just 2 separate heads that you have to toggle. In fact, let's put on something like AV. And I'll just show you that it doesn't do jack shit, which is really regrettable. Because it did it in the last 2 games. It did it in Breaker Mobile, too. Stays in aiming mode. So you're just really using it for different aesthetics. But that sensor on the top of your head is a builder's part anyway. So you can get the aesthetics just by dropping that in. It sucks. I wish it wasn't like that. Kamaris. Ooh, Kamaris. How should we build Kamaris? Let's see what it says Kamaris has default. No booster. Okay. I think we should be using booster, because I think that's just a more pure Kamaris. And it looks cooler when you're using its boost skills than the legs. Kamaris is great. Kamaris is probably like the second cool one next to Gushin. Gungear. Gungear, you're so cool. Desolate Fall. And I will show why I think it works. And it's because of Slash Disc. $162. Look at that, I'm doing 162. You see that? I'm doing 162. You remember how I talked about the debuff on Gushin's axe? Yeah, Slash Disc does that, but it lasts like 10 seconds. Now, it does not reapply on hit until it's not on there anymore. It doesn't re-up its cooldown. But 270, 321. That's not nothing. And the Slash Discs themselves do some pretty decent damage. It's not hard with 2 of them to constantly keep them up and keep the debuff up. It also has the same kind of stun that Gushin has. With the same tracking. This is also a pretty good skill. The fact that it's one of those movement types that actually does damage. And you look so cool because all your shit opens up. The backpack doesn't interact with it, sadly, but at least it looks like you have the booster going. Look at those fucking legs. They're so cool. Kamaris is neat because while most Gundam frames were like, I'm not that much better than a regular mobile suit. I don't have that many advantages over a regular mobile suit. It all comes down to the Alea Vignana. The Kamaris actually had bespoke gimmicks to its own. Those slash discs, the booster legs, that made it different from just a rank and file MS. Because by the time PD 300 rolls around, where the show takes place, like a fucking Graze is technically as good, if not better, than a Gundam frame in performance across the board. The only real advantage the Gundam frames have is 2 reactors to better power whatever gimmicks they have, and the Alea Vignana, which isn't even unique to them, because you can just swap a cockpit in like they did with Shino's Graze. But Kamaris, as this is preserved from Calamity War, actually has its own shit going on. It is something I can genuinely say is better than a rank and file MS. Combat knife. Just do this the whole time. Whole gameplay. Now, how do I get to the million stab? Yeah, Trooper would be fucking awesome. I'm gonna take a sip of beverage from my throat. Thankfully, we only have 2 more kits left because I gotta get some lunch stuff. It's so cool. Actually, let's spawn 3 motherfuckers so I can stab them all at the same time. Gundam Kamaris is so cool, and I think it might be able to go the distance. Kind of, technically. I'll probably put it on the upper end because of everything it can do. So, no ranged weapon, but you come with the Gungear Spear, which is just like a really nice looking lance. Does lance things. You stab. You charge and stab. You boosto. You poke, 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 poke. It is what it is. It's cool. It also comes with some really cool skills. So, it has flares. Flares like Gushin has. It is 2 slow-moving but good tracking stuns with an AoE on them. They'll let you catch multiple enemies. It has Combat Knife, which is Beam Saber combo. Normally, I'd be really down on those for being just kind of crappy. But, since you're using a Lance right now, the ability to have a pop-up at will by holding down Combat Knife is pretty nice. You also have Slash Disc, 1 in each arm, which is injection type. You can press it once to get a disc out, or hold it to get multiple. They do decent damage, but they also have another unique effect. Let's walk over to this dude. So my regular poke is doing 162 damage. After I hit him with a Slash Disc, it's doing 192. My regular tackle is doing 270. Hit him with a Splash Disc, I'm doing 321. It gives a defense debuff to the target. On top of that, that debuff lasts for like 10 fucking seconds. It's great. You cannot reapply it while it's already up, so if the timer's ticking down, hitting with another Slash Disc won't do anything. But with 2 Slash Discs and a 10-second timer on that debuff, you can keep them debuffed indefinitely. It has 1 more unique skill, which I think is pretty cool. High Mobility Full Boost. So a lot of kits have this kind of high-speed rush that gets you from one end of the map to the other. EX versions can sometimes do damage. What's cool about the Kamaris is that it also opens up these awesome-looking panels on the legs for maximum boosters. That's one of the cooler things about Kamaris, is that being preserved from the Calamity War in some guy's basement, you know that this was the bespoke gimmick that it had way back when. That the legs just open up into a cool little... kind of like what the Rogue Orbit Gundam has. The fact that it does damage and tracks so well also makes it better than most of these skills that just push you around for no reason. It only costs you a minimum gauge as well to do so, just one. So you can spam this thing top to bottom. And then try to get it back with Slash Disc, which generates a shitload of EX. And just like that, I have another high speed. I'm not sure how well it would do on some big bosses, but the fact that high speed has such big hitbox coverage, I feel like you could tear through the back of stuff like Neo Zeong really easily. I think Kamaris is sitting on the high end of what's usable. Absolutely. It's so cool. I love you, Kamaris. What are you nerds talking about? I don't see Minovsky particles doing anything to batteries. They don't disrupt regular electronics. They just disrupt communications and radar and shit. It's just a bunch of chaff in the air. I don't see anything like shutting down a Cosmic Era MS. Alright, Kamaris Vidar next. Do you... Oh, you get a weapon. Okay. You get the Drill Lance. Good, good, good. None of you motherfuckers have shields, but you have a shield. Drill Knee, Dainsleaf. I don't think Ahab Reactor is going to shut down seed stuff either. Like, it fucks up electronics, but I don't think that's enough to shut down a power source. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be shielded anyway. Dainsleaf is not even a stun, it's just a big railgun hit. Which kind of sucks. Because I don't have a gun. So it's like, not gonna do anything. Drill Knee's cool though. It's a Raptor Breaker. I don't think Kimmy V has a lot going on. Yeah, this ain't that good. Oh, cool. Double shield stays out in the same position if you're using Dainsleaf. Yeah, Kimmy V is kind of dog shit. Gundam Kamaris Vidar is alright, I guess. It's Vidar converted to a more appropriate combat form using Kamaris parts and a bunch of extra bullshit they had lying around. You get another Lance in this Super Gun Gear thing, but it doesn't have any bespoke special abilities. It's just regular Lance, which is fine. It's fine, just like Kamaris has. But the skills you do get are not really offensive focused, and I think that's going to be the big problem here. You have Dainsleaf, which links up your shield with your lance to fire a high-speed railgun. It breaks off parts real good. But it also runs off of your range attack, which you don't have a ranged weapon. So while it's great for part break, it's never going to do any more damage. But it's really good for part break. You also have Drill Knee, which is a ranged leg grab. You get a little drill out of your knee, and it goes, and you knock people away. It's fast, it's good, it does good damage. It has no AoE on it. It's functional. I just feel like those two and your lance being all you have to work with is not really great. The ability to pop a part off every time you use the Dainsleif is nice. The cooldown on the Dainsleif itself is pretty heavy. You're not going to be doing that very often. It has an EX skill, but it's a utility EX. It is double shield, where you put your shields in front of you. Pop! Just like that. And now you have an extra 10% resistance against beam and physical damage. It keeps you alive longer, which you're going to need. This might be a challenge to work with. You'll probably have to rely on that Dainsleif to try to get part breaks and hopefully get ground smashes. But that's only really if you take out, like, 3 out of 4 of their parts anyway, then hit them with the Dainy. And that's not very realistic. You don't have a lot you can do against bosses either. I just don't think this is very good for a straight build. Kimmy V. Upload. And then for our last trick, we will check out Vidar itself. Gotta make sure I'm not using a high-level rifle. Vidar handguns? Vidar handguns. Let's put the handgun in the left hand, just so we can have handgun representation. Because handguns are so rare. Okay, before I move my pain over mana, before I move the screen over, do you know what Vidar has? I will now show you what Vidar has. It has skills! It actually has skills. Congratulations. None of the IBO kits have burst actions. How crazy is that? So it's got its rifle, which is just a long rifle. Counterpoint. Barbados is going to have issues with seed suits because phase shift means its bonkies ain't bonking. No, man, it's wild spinning, not wild. Honestly, the fucking handgun stuns like a motherfucker. I can see 2 of those being nice. And then you can hold it to go, whee! Meanwhile, while the handgun just flinches them, the fucking rifle tosses them. That's pretty good. Now that you're out of iframes, how will you break out of this piss tetrahedron? And nanolaminate means nothing if the pilot gets roasted alive inside. Wear your seatbelts, man. That's all it is to it. And then the option handgun is you can tap it to get shots, or hold it for a flippy flip. Just like the handheld. Then Burst Saber is it's a beam saber? Motherfucker, you're not even a fencing type? Are you real right now? Okay. Hunter's Edge should be a kick. Yes, with the leg blades. The leg blades that are heated, by the way. Heat weapons. Heat weapons, I have screenshots of heating and melting through shit. Some complete denialists would be like, oh no, it's just hitting it so hard that it's melting the edges. Look, what the fuck are you talking about? Vidar explicitly uses napalm in its sabers too. You see that red shit coming off there? Then AV type E, which I'm pretty sure is... yeah, just a basic awakening. But you turn purple. Like that, mana? Stab into them and then they breaks off and explode? Yeah, that's what it does. You stab them and then kick off. It looks better when I don't have a million reaction speed. Yeah. They explode. So it's a rush move with an extra twist that also has big iframes. It only costs 1. Like this in Vidar, or this in Kamaris are kind of good. More importantly, you actually have a gun. And your 2 guns are good, too. Now, what's that like if I line up 3 motherfuckers? That's good. Now, what if I line up 3 motherfuckers and do parts off? That's good. Deja would be amazing. Yeah, it's got an AoE. Now, just to be absolutely sure, let me make sure none of these skills change while under Leia Vignano. Nope. I got these cool after image effects though, like. Fucking eye trail goes wild. Holy shit. Calm the fuck down, Eye. It's so sad that the Burst Saber isn't a fencing type. I would have loved that. Okay, I think... you know what? I think of anything in this roster that can make it through the game as is. It's fucking Vidar. You have Awakening. You have a good skill. Oh, that looks so cool. That does shit tons of damage to multiple hitboxes. You have a range weapon and a melee weapon. You have a melee skill for burst damage. You have a range skill for doing something. I don't know what you're doing with it, but it's there. If it had a burst action, it'd be perfect. But at least you have Burst Breaker. What do we got for gauge gain on the boys here? Let's use some. Holy shit! Half a bar in one use and it comes right back? That's what that's for. Now, what am I looking at for... for comeback from the Spinny Spin? Instant half a gauge. Yeah, that's what those are for. I guess third of a gauge, if you want to call it that. 2/5. 2/5 of a gauge. If they all connect. That's what that's useful for. And then as far as the kick goes... you already have the gauge back. Jesus. Yeah, Vidar fucks. Vidar is great. Holy shit. Vidar, you rule. Oh, I just got the alert that the super chat's about to end, which means 5 minutes left in my planned session, which is perfect because we're at the last kit. I gotta cook some chicken, then I got a doctor's appointment. I'm not dying yet. It's just my half-a-year checkup. Vidar is awesome. Maybe the best thing in this roster for this show. So you come with some good tools. You have a melee weapon in the form of Burst Saber, which is just a regular saber combo. Nothing special. And then you have a long rifle, which just juggles the shit out of dudes. And a pistol. You can even equip 2 pistols if you're Froggy, which does good flinch, and you can hold it for a spinning wildfire. Get you out of the way of stuff. I think that rifle's pretty dandy, though. You also come with a couple really, really, really good skills. Starting on the EX side, Burst Saber, which is one of those dashing attacks like Kamaris has. But at the end, you plunge your saber in and then kick off to explode. So it's got an extra little explosion that can hit multiple enemies. It goes a good distance, it does a good damage, every part of it's a hitbox. You also have a Leia Vinyana Type E, which is just a standard Hyper Trance, attack, reaction speed, nothing too crazy. But the fact that you have it is nice, because then you can get through this stuff so much faster and so much stronger. You have Hunter's Edge, which is a kick combo using your legs for good instant melee damage. And you have Handgun, which kind of like Rick Diaz or Strike Noir, you can tap it to shoot out a series of bursts of your handgun. Or as soon as it comes back, hold it to do a flippy flip, just like your handheld. While it's not going to do crazy amounts of damage, what I did note it's amazing for is check out the bottom left, my EX gauge. I've been spending it. I'm down to almost a flat base 4. One use of the flippy flip if all shots connect. 2/5 of a bar back. Even if you don't want to use the flippy flip and just shoot with it, if all shots connect, another 2/5 of a bar back. Meaning you have a super easy and fast way to constantly refill that EX gauge to keep going with Burst Saber. Like Kamaris, I think this is a kit that can go all the way through the game. You have scaling weapons for both types of attacks. You have options for both types of attacks. You have one really good EX skill to burn your gauge into. And if you have some extra gauge to spend, a Hyper Trance to just boost all your stats. Doesn't have a burst action, but at least you still have Burst Breaker to fall back on. Or Burst Resurrect. I think this thing rules. And is probably the best kit on this roster for playing through the game. I mean, look at it. It's so edgy. Yeah! Okay, upload this. So, I'm pretty much going to end it here. I got my footage. I'm going to edit this together in the video and put it up. This was fun. IBO's cool. You have exactly 55 seconds to force me to choose the next series with the Super Chat. Otherwise, I'm going to put it up to a poll, and we're going to see what I go through next. I'm kind of surprised. I knew the Barbatos were shit, but I did not remember Vidar being this cool. But Vidar's DLC, right? I mean, like, they're going to make it better. They got to make it better. So I guess the ones that really dig in, Vidar and Kamaris. B6 is okay. Gushin is okay. Rebake is not. So if I had to do like 1, 2, 3, Vidar, Kamaris, Gushin as the best straight builds for this series. And now I can sell all my IBO parts. Yay! Because I only have a couple hundred spaces left in everything before I hit that 1501. So I'm thinking next I want to get some of the bigger ones out of the way. Since nobody forced me to pick one, I might do something like... I might keep all the SDs still on here, since that one won't be terrible to do. I think I'm going to combine Blue Destiny with Quux and RFV. Only because the low amount of kits in there will make it easier. What is in Divers and Re-Rise? Yeah. I may also combine Divers with Fighters, because there's honestly not that many kits. So in that case, do I also throw in... Age has like 3. Yeah, Age got nothing. Do I also throw in Breaker? I might do like Age and Rekko together. Breaker, Playmo Kyoshiro, build Fighters, build Divers. How big of a list is that? The Gun Barrel Strikes, Berger Guy, B30 Blazing. That's not a bad list. That's not too much. I don't think I'd be feeling like shitty going through this one. Because I don't want to do anything that has 30 fucking kits. And of course, all this is going to a playlist, and all this will be combined at the end too. I'm just going to string every video back to back without the intro. Every straight build kit and blah blah blah. Because if someone thinks I took the effort to do it all at the same session, they're going to be impressed. They're going to click. Don't think they won't. Yeah, and then, you know what? Which two? Which, Rekko, Age can probably be combined. Because they just don't have that much. Gaffrin, Daryl, Ariel, 1, 2, 3, Calibarn, G-Self, Legless, Kabakali, Mackknife. Yeah, that's... There ain't shit in there. I'll combine those together. Seed's gonna be a bitch, because they didn't separate Seed and Destiny. Oh, they did separate Seed and Destiny. Oh, no. But Astray's in there, so there's a million fucking things in there, too. I guess, yeah, Seed and then Seed Destiny can be their own thing. That's big enough. Astray has 1, but didn't even come with a fucking bazooka. How sad is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Mina and Amatsu are getting combined. Eat my ass. That is the same fucking kit. Mina just has more stuff. We'll call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's getting combined. 8. Yeah, okay, so Stray can be by itself, too. Red Frame and Red Frame Flight are getting combined. That's a plan. And then all the SDs and Musha can come together, too. Because there's not that many SDs, are there? Have I made a mistake? I have not made a mistake. Especially since most of these don't even have skills. For some god. I can't wait to get to Yami Shogun and talk about Black Hole Cannon. Black Hole Cannon is so cool. Hold on. Before I get out of here, we're going to head to the board and see what cool dioramas there are. And then we're totally going to play around with Black Hole Cannon. What's on this week? Oh, that's a cool little design. Some Quanta Hainu going on. Give you a like. Is this a thing already? This looks like a thing already. Either way, it looks good, but I feel like this is from something that I'm just not placing. Optical. Oh, it's the Major. It's the Major falling out of the building. That's cool. I like that. That's sick. I'm actually going to get rid of the screen display and save that one. I'm going to add that to my weekly. Like, I love that I can check out the board and see cool shit. That's a mortar head. Angel boobies. Just like... I thought that G-Unit Remake had, like, fancy versions of Merc and V8 that combined. But they didn't look like that. What are we doing? What am I looking at or not looking at? Yeah, this is too busy. Yeah! Exercise, exercise, hustle, muscle. Jigen doing Jigen things. You made this shit too rusty, dude. Jim standing on gym tension. I'm okay with that. Door opening, that's cool. Goof! That's a really sick looking goof. Yeah! Let's do that. Metabee! It's our son! KBT type! Oh, that's neat. I see they use the Hainu missile pods for the head. Okay, is that... What are we doing up here on the head? Is that Gun Archer? I mean, the arms are Alex, that's obvious. The torso is Jim Kai. What are we doing on the face? Clearly we shoved something through as the mouthpiece. Yeah, the head's a Gun Archer, because you can see the fin on the back. They're just trying to hide it. And then is that missile pods on the back to serve as his, like, pistons? I think so. Oh, that's so cool. So Gun Archer with something shoved through the mouth? No, the horn and the mouth are the same part. Whatever they shoved in there, that's the same part. They just have it vertical. With a pair of Hainu missile pod boobs for the missile tubes. That's sick. Saving this. And then you are... What are your arms? Oh, it's an NPC upside down. You're right. No, you're totally right. Just an upside down NPC. I think they did the same thing for the other one. Gym Command with the vents and missile pods there. Zaku legs. Capital Z-A-K-U. What are your arms? Are those Gray's arms? Yeah, I think those are Gray's arms. This is cool. I love this. I love shit like this. This is so creative. I know it's cosplay, but like when I see a cosplay done interestingly, I appreciate that. When I see a cosplay done in a novel manner, that's still a reasonable build. That's not like some... Oh, they made the Akira bike. Okay, mother funnels... GPO2 shield. That's the backpack from Tyr and Tauzi. And for the back, what's that back plate on the bike? Tires are tires. We have tire parts. What is that back plate on the bike? It's some kind of arm, right? They just have sideways? But what arm has the 3 dots? Yeah, you think so? Yeah, probably. I like how there's a shield underneath, though. This is all good. This is so clever. It's a shame that none of this can actually move in real space and it's diorama only. I would love to see how jank this is. Oh, they're on the road! Those are good birds! Those are GN drive birds. Thrusters and GN drives married together. With wings shoved, or aerials shoved through them. That's just a cool looking guy. No complaints there. You just look cool. Got a break DS Dreisen combo head going on there. You're okay. Rebellion Gundam. I like what you did with the face, though it does seem a bit much. No one needs to see your celestial being all up in my face. Just like a battle scene. The hash browns. Bird. Cyburster. Cybirder. It's a very interesting Cybirder. And the same Queen Mansa that I've seen in here for fucking months. I bet that Psycho Gundam's coming up too. There it is. Everyone does Psycho differently, but without fail, they always stack the NPCs. Dreisen Torso is interesting, though. Was there a tiger mask in Frieren? Is Frieren secretly tiger mask? This is a Frieren, right? That's a cool Dio. I like that. White base versus the Char. What are you doing here? Actually, first, save that. What are you doing? Subknuckle knee guards. You've used Kshatriya arms, but integrated them in a way that makes it seem like an overall shell that you're sitting inside, and not that they're like attached to your arms. That's kind of neat. I like that. Like just putting GPO2 shield on top does a lot there. Makes it feel less like an arm attachment, more like an overall covering. Yeah! My baby's first diorama. Photograph. You use EXS legs and they don't look like too bulky. That's nice. Look at all this stupid Psychomu bullshit. Look at all this stupid CDA stuff. There's a reason they deleted the affair. Terrifying. That's what meets sets and ends space? That's Zaku. Now, the way he's standing on the rock, I can't help but think it is the Bushido fight, but for some reason he's very patriotic. And that's just a good Zaku. If I would just give you a pat on the head, I would. And that's just a Yogoog that's using the IWSP for some reason. And that's just a Kirsch Yogoog. Vish Donahue. And we're back to this kind of stuff. That's too much, honestly. I see what you're doing, but the other guy that put all his CB-ness in my face kind of felt more unified. But it's still cool. That's a Berserk Man! Violent Violet. I'm taking a shot of that so I can translate what that text is. I bet it's funny. Now, what do you use for the head real quick? Hold on. Oh, I see what we did. We covered up some Jinx eyes. Okay. Oh no! And then we're back to this. Alright, that's fun. Those are some fun ones. Okay, I gotta get started on my adventure for the day. I'll go to a doctor's appointment, but you guys be excellent. Thank you for joining me. I'll edit together and put this out tonight. I'll put a poll up to what series I'm doing next. I'll probably put up like Age, Reco, the other one I said I'd do as one, and then maybe like SD is the other, and I don't know, what's something for freaks that freaks like? Advanced Zeta. Advanced Zeta have freaks, yeah. I'll do Witch, Age, and Reco as one, and then AOZ Zeta, and then SD. Be excellent to each other.